All right, you were listening there to U.S. President Donald Trump speaking on Taxes Day and saying that the U.S. stock market has hit a new high. He was saying that he was advised not to go to the Iran war because the stock market would crash and because oil prices would go to $300 per barrel. But actually, Mr. Trump saying that the stock market has hit a new all-time high, and of course the prices of oil now, Brent we're speaking 98 and WTI 93, still considerably very high, but the US president asking for his fan base and for the Americans to go out and vote for the Republicans in the upcoming November congressional elections, saying that oil didn't rise as much and that the stock market has is hitting new highs. And he's also saying that and we are quoting him, "You'll be very impressed," and obviously not giving a hint about what's going to happen in the Iran situation. The US president had said before that he was optimistic about reaching a deal, but also that he will not be extending the ceasefire because he believes that if there is no deal before the ceasefire expires with Iran in some 5 days, then there will be a return to military hostilities. And we'll be updating you on Mr. Trump's speech, if he does speak again, about Iran or Lebanon. Lebanon, where they have reached a 10-day ceasefire deal with Israel that was announced earlier in the day by the US president, and that is now something like 3.5 hours into effect. With us now, live over the phone, is political analyst Mr. Mohamed Salah to give us his insight and analysis of the fast-moving developments here in the region. Mr. Salah, good morning. Thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning for you and for all of our followers today, and I'm very happy to be with you at this phone call here.
Very happy to be with you, Mr. Salah, and very happy that we have a ceasefire. So now we have a 10-day ceasefire, Mr. Salah, between Lebanon and Israel. The US president says that he will be inviting the Lebanese president and the Israeli prime minister to the White House in some 4 to 5 days. Some 3.5 hours into the ceasefire, already there is Israeli shelling in areas of southern Lebanon, as reported by the official Lebanese news agency, and already Israel has declared it will not pull out of South Lebanon and has asked the 1.2 million people or so it has displaced to stay north of the Litani River and not to come back to their homes south of the Litani. Egypt, of course, has welcomed the ceasefire agreement and has called on the international community to bear responsibility and uphold the ceasefire, and has also called for the immediate and full withdrawal of Israeli forces from Lebanese territories and the implementation of Resolution 1701. How do you see the overall situation, Mr. Salah? Was it a nice surprise? Was it a surprise, the ceasefire deal? And will it, see some incidents, or will the ceasefire be upheld? How do you see the overall situation, its relationship to the Iran situation?
What I would like to say, first of all, is that it's not a surprise to have such a ceasefire deal between Lebanon and Israel, and I think it's closely related to what is happening of the negotiation between America and Iran, as Mr. Trump is looking forward to keep these negotiations active, and is looking for, or is addressing the Iranian needs in order to continue on delivering or acting on these negotiations in order to reach a compromise which will give him an exit or quit from this non-strategical war that he have started without any strategic plan. You don't have objectives, you don't have the strategic goals, you don't have any of them on this war between America and Iran. And he thought that this war will start and end in 2 weeks or 3 weeks in general, but he found that the problems is very hard, and the problems are spreading problems all over the world and all over inside the America. The American economy has faced lots of problems regarding what comes out from this war. The American citizens are not ready or are not happy with what's happening, and all of these results give Mr. Trump the purpose or the time to go into this negotiation with the Iranian side. One of the most purposes, one of the most goals or requests that have been delivered by the Iranian side were reaching a ceasefire in Lebanon.
Right.
And I think Mr. Trump have pressured or have makes lots of pressures on Benjamin Netanyahu in order to reach this ceasefire to keep his negotiations with Iranian side alive.
Okay. Now, do you think the ceasefire will be holding? I mean, just hours before the ceasefire went into effect, Israel killed 3 more Lebanese people, and over 2,000, of course, over 2,000 have been killed by Israeli strikes in Lebanon in the 40-plus days. And over 1.2 million people have been displaced. I want to ask you specifically about that. Israel has clearly stated that it wants the 1.2 million, those who have been displaced, to stay north of Litani and not to go back. Does this give you any sense of bad intentions and bad will when it comes to the ceasefire and the negotiations, or do you think this is normal? And what do you think the Lebanese people will do? Will they indeed try to go back to their homes south of Litani?
Let me say that it's not the right time, or it is not the right way to discuss such questions, as I think we are in light of a ceasefire agreement, not a completely peace agreement between Lebanon and Israel. I think what's going on the territories south and Litani River will be discussed in light of a complete peace process or peace negotiations between Lebanon and Israel. What we have to know that one of the most important goals for the Israeli side is to have a buffer zone on this area. They are looking or targeting to make these territories away from the Lebanese Authority, away from the Lebanese state in general, and I think it's a step in another way will end by occupying these territories south Litani River. So what we can say that is Israel is looking forward, is looking a step forward or immediate step in order to occupy these lands.
And this is why Egypt immediately following the ceasefire's announcement called for the implementation of UN Security Council Resolution 1701 and called for Israel's full and immediate withdrawal from the territories it occupies in Lebanon.
Sure, dear, and this is the reason for the Egyptian side. As we have to know that Israel is working on steps. The first step was quitting UNIFIL forces from South Lebanon, and the second is calling for a buffer zone in South Litani River, and the third will be by targeting Lebanon on this war and to ask them to accept the Israeli conditions in order to reach a ceasefire. And all of these steps are, I think, they have finally the same goal, or to reach certain goal, which is occupying these territories or making them a part of the Israeli state's land.
So how then can we expect the Lebanese to agree to such conditions? I mean, and will they? I mean, how is the Lebanese government supposed to act here, and is it under so much pressure that it could accept conditions that violate its territorial integrity and sovereignty, or does this mean that this deal will not go ahead since Israel has these intentions? clear intentions.
Well, I think that the Lebanese state will not accept such conditions in order to reach peace process, and I think that Lebanese President Joseph Aoun declared that many times. When you are talking about Joseph Aoun, you talk about the past leader of the Lebanese army. Any army in the world is working with the lands as one of his honor, or one of his missions or main tasks is to preserve his national wars and to guard or secure his borders. So I can't say that Lebanon will accept all of these conditions, whether they have lots of problems with Hezbollah and Shia components in the government, but at the same time they will not accept. And I think that fighting or facing Israel is a shared goal, a shared objective between all the Lebanese. The only problem between them and the Shia components is about the political opinion or the political decision. They don't want to enter a war that they are not looking for, or entering a war for other parts that are not a part of Lebanon. So we have to know well that the problems is about the political situation or the political decision, not about facing Israel, or not about keeping the Lebanese land, or keeping the Lebanese borders at the same time.
Of course, we should assume, Mr. Salah, that any peace deal, potential peace deal between Lebanon and Israel, would mean that Israel will withdraw from all of the Lebanese territories it occupies, and there will not be a single Israeli soldier inside Lebanese lands, and that the Lebanese people will be free to live wherever they want, be it north of a Litani or the south of a Litani, if they are 1 or 2 or even 5 million. Is that correct?
I think yes, I totally agree with you, but at the same time we have to know well that the structure of the Lebanese state is different from any other state in the Middle East or in the world in general. Lebanon don't have the privilege of leaving any centimeters of any meter of his lands, and for any foreign countries, not only for Israel. He can't leave them, as this will reflect badly on the national security of the Lebanese state, and will reflect badly on the basis of the constitutional situation on Lebanon at the same time.
Mr. Salah, speaking again of the Lebanon-Israeli file, do you think Hezbollah and the Shia component you mentioned, I mean Hezbollah and Amal, and those who are heavily represented in the parliament in Lebanon, will facilitate the progress of this ceasefire deal and facilitate the progress of peace negotiations, or do you think there will be an obstructive force to that?
I think the Shia component in Lebanon will facilitate this ceasefire due to many reasons. One of the most important reasons for facilitating this ceasefire is the Iranian purpose, or the Iranian desire to complete this ceasefire agreement. That is the main important part. And the second important part is that when you are talking about what's happening on Lebanon and to link them with what's going with Iran, you will have a wider look over a regional system, a new regional system, and a new regional relations will be built upon these negotiations, whether in Lebanon or on Iran. So I think that many actions or many surprises are coming on the coming few days regarding the final state situation or the final actions for the Middle East in general, not only for Iran or Lebanon. We are talking about many issues or many problems that will affect the Middle East in general, not only the Shia components or Lebanon or Iran or Shia axis. We are talking, or we are discussing relations between all the countries in the Middle East. So I think they will help. This will help us to reach a final situation, or to reach what's called, or we can call it, sustainable situation or sustainable peace in the Middle East. So I think Iran and the Shia components in Lebanon, and also in Iraq, and also in Yemen, all of these components, or all of these components, or all of these parts of the Shia axis will facilitate these situations in order to gain profits from these negotiations.
So finally, it seems that you believe that there will be a peaceful settlement of the American-Iranian confrontation. Did I read you correctly?
I think it is the subject of the main subject of the negotiations is gaining a sustainable peace process, or a sustainable peace agreement between all parts in the Middle East, not only between America and Iran in general, or particularly.
What are you talking about? You're talking about good relations potentially between Iran and its neighbors and its Arab Gulf neighbors, or are you talking about the Abrahamic situation? What are you talking about, sir?
All of them are falling or are negotiated now between Iran and America.
Mm-hmm.
But the main questions that we have to think about: to what extent will Iran give America this actions, or this acceptance? What are the basics? What are the red lines? What are because I think that we have to exchanging benefits. While we are talking about a successful negotiation process, we have to exchange benefits between both sides. What are the benefits that Iran will gain from this peace process? What are the benefits that will America take in return? All of these actions will reform, or will stay the future or the end of this negotiation between Iran and America.
All right, thank you very much, political analyst Mr. Mohamed Salah, as always, for your time and your insights.
Thanks, Mr. Mohamed.
Thank you, sir. And thank you for staying with us. In less than 15 minutes, we'll be back with Nile News. Please don't go far.